Hello everyone, it is Mike here, and welcome to another Rumble. We got a great one here for you. It's the women. It's the women. You're finally going to get them. It's been a while, and Christopher requested this one, so I'm going to go ahead and give him his. So I came up with 30 women. They're all random, and I thought it was a pretty good list. It took me a little while to find some people, but I used key hashtags that I've told you all about to use, and it was actually faster than I thought it would be. But we're starting off with Repulsa here, Rita. I've never seen this version of her, though. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good one, but I know it's not like 100% accurate, but it's still pretty good. And oh my goodness, here comes Pearl. What are you doing, Pearl? I love Pearl, by the way. And we got to let this entrance play. We have to let it play, because this is going to be hilarious. I mean, this looks like a custom one, too, to make things even better. And she's not dancing anymore, though. Hopefully she don't get out the pitchfork. We know how deadly she can be with that. And let's see what else. Uh-oh. Looks like she's got some more moves for us. Look at this. Wow. What an entrance. That's definitely a Pearl entrance. Talk about the center of attention she has to be always. And I love that trilogy, of course. The Ty West trilogy. Wasn't a big fan of Maxine. I thought it was okay. But X and Pearl are just top-notch. Top-tier films. And we got Rita Repulsa versus Pearl here. And, yeah, I came up with 30. There is 3 women from the same movie. So I did not go random on that because I wanted to show you these. And number 3 is Sadness from Inside Out. So, I love Pixar, of course. They do a great job with all their films. And I love Inside Out. That's such a good movie. And Inside Out 2 was great also. I really love what they did with Anxiety. That was really cool. And Sadness and Rita are battling. So yeah, I found these 30, and I know we've had a couple on here before, but some of the versions are different than what they have been. And we may do another one. We may do My Favorite Women. We may have to do My Favorite Women. And number 4 is AJ Lee. Speaking of favorites, she's one of my favorites. She's probably my number 2 when it comes to the women's division. Rhea, of course, number 1. I don't think anyone can top Rhea. I think she's the best of all time. And I know it is a bias, obviously. There is a bias going on because I like her style. You know, I just like everything about her. So that's definitely a bias. Even like her music, how she dresses compared to the others. You know, she's just like an outcast, and I love it. And Jessica Cruz is number 5, and I've never heard of her, but she is a lantern. So I've never heard of her. I thought she was just some girl named Jessica Cruz that wanted to cosplay. I didn't know she was an actual character, but that's really cool. Really cool lantern character. And Sadness is already done, so she's going to be crying for sure. And we'll see who's next, and it is Tara, number 6, or Tara. Oh, Tara from Terrifier 1. Yes, I love Tara. Of course, we all know what happens. I'm not going to give it away if you haven't seen Terrifier 1. It might be something you not want to watch, just to let you all know. And yeah, I found some really good women on here. I really did. I was surprised with what I found, and there's some real gold here with some of the ones that I have. Of course, I had to, filter every single one of these. And Anna J is number 7, and Mr. 2K's at it again. Well, Anna J's going to be bald, guys. I'm sorry. 2K loves to shave hair. They love to cut people's hair off. It's like Delilah with Samson or something. I don't know what's going on. They got this, they're sick. And, to do this to the men is one thing, but to do it to the women? Oh, my goodness. What is wrong with them? Have they lost it? But anyway, yeah, we might see that again. And we got Mrs. Trenchbull from Matilda, which I've never seen completely, but I know she's the bad in that. She's the principal, I believe. Yeah, Anna Jay does not have hair, and it looks just so weird that she doesn't have any hair. It's just, I don't know what to tell you. Number 9, and this girl is from Power Rangers. She's from one of the series. So, yeah, Christopher's mentioned this. A couple other people also have mentioned you got to go with the women. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to try to do a couple more of these. We can't do a lot. And I did have to filter some of these, of course, go through them. Because some people like to be inappropriate and overly creative, let's just say. Yeah. And honestly, I don't think adults are the only ones doing that. There's some immaturity going on for sure. And I'm surprised that they don't get flagged. You can't say doom, but yeah, you can do other things though. So I have to always really check them and stuff, and that's why I don't go on Community while, if you all are watching live or something. I would never go in Community. That's the exact reason. I'm not trying to say, well, I don't want to have nothing to do with your person. No, I can't, because of a couple morons that want to, post whatever. That's why I don't go on Community anymore. Unless I'm, no one's watching. And Trenchbull. Yeah, but Doomslayer, he's such a terrible guy. We got to give him asterisks. We got to give Butthead asterisks. It's like, come on. And number 10. I think she's from the Dead or Alive series. So, I don't know her name. I've never really played that game. There's certain games that, I won't do on here, obviously, because of certain, content. And it looks like the girl from Power Rangers is done. But yeah, we need to do more of these women ones because it's fun. And there's a good variety here. There's a lot more than I thought. You just got to look for the right hashtags. And number 11 is Disgust. Disgust is here. So yeah, that's the movie I was talking about. The Inside Out. We got all three. We got 3 from that one. So that one I didn't go a little bit random on. I wanted to show you them all. And I like Disgust. I think Disgust is one of my favorites, actually. I still think the portrayal of anxiety is the best in part 2. I think they did a really good job with that. And just there's a moment in that movie it's really hits the heart, that's what I have to say. It just hits the heart in that moment. But Disgust is a fun one. They're all fun. I think the boredom is kind of boring, which I guess that's what they're going for, but that's probably my least favorite of the characters. And we got Judy Alvarez, number 12, Cyberpunk. So Cyberpunk, and I need to go back and play Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is just a really good game. And I played a little bit of it, but I got a little bit frustrated, as usual. And I stopped playing it for a while, and I just don't have the time for 30-hour campaigns. So Pearl is done. And Rita Repulsa still in this thing. So Pearl started off, but Rita's still in. So we'll see how far she can go. We're already 10 minutes in, if we count everything. And, look at the double team here. And Jessica's in trouble, and she's done. So, I never heard of that character until now. I know there's, tons of lanterns. But I've never heard of that character until, yesterday. That's the first time I'm hearing about this character. And I think she looks cool. She looks cool. A lot of the lanterns don't look cool, so she has that advantage. And we got the Wicked Witch. And this is the older one. This is the one from the classic movie. I did enjoy Wicked. I did. I was shocked that I enjoyed it. It's not in my top 10, and I don't love it as much as everyone else does. But, of course, it's not really for my demographic, I don't feel like. But I did enjoy it. It wasn't bad. I really hate musicals, too, so not bad for a musical. I do think, for some reason, my theater had a little bit of sound issues because it didn't sound as epic as some of the music and other stuff I've seen. So I think there was a bad speaker or something. I don't know. Because it didn't sound as loud as it should have been. And look at Disgust. She's discussed with Dead or Alive. And I wouldn't mind playing that. I'll look into it. No, it's not Dead or Alive. It's the other one I'm thinking of that's very inappropriate. I don't think it's Dead or Alive. It might be. I don't think it's that bad. It can't be worse than Mortal Kombat. We got another bald person. Come on. Oh, my goodness. This is why. This is why they have to correct everything in 25. And the saddest thing is they're probably not going to correct nothing. It's probably going to be worse. That's my prediction. 15, 20, 25. It's a pattern. And it's also a pattern for my boy Luke, who's going to be coming back like he does every 5 years. I know, it's crazy how that happened. So that's going to be interesting. He's definitely coming back for 25 because Lasagna comes back every 5 years. Yeah, Zelda's bald. So, and Disgust is disgusting. Yeah, and that's not on me. I cannot. I filtered them on the community page, not going in to the edit, because I can't do it with all 30. But hopefully we don't have any more. But this is ridiculous, and it seems to be with the newer people, the oldest ones have this issue. So try to avoid the older characters, because they seem to have the issue more than anybody. It's like the first, few that got uploaded like that. And usually they also have face cams. So they got all that going on. We got Alice here, which I'm sure Christopher loves Alice. So there you go, Christopher. You got your girl Alice here. I only love the first 3 movies, and I don't claim the rest because they're not claimable. And 16, we got my girl, Sydney Prescott. She is still my favorite final girl. I don't know. Sienna's pretty awesome. In my opinion, I enjoy Sienna and Sydney more than Lori. Any day of the week, I would take them over Lori. And I know that's controversial, but I do not care. I think the franchise kind of ruined Lori. So it's not Jamie's fault. It's just some of the other entries. They just waste her. And Sienna, she's tough. She's really tough. Number 17, we got Avatar, which I cannot wait for Avatar 3. I know some of you all hate it, and I got to be honest with you, I don't care. I don't care. I know for some reason some people hate these blue people. I don't know why. I think it's a great idea, and how can you hate anything James Cameron does? It's just like, I don't get it. But we all disagree on certain things. You know, to each its own, the worst saying in the world. I hate when people say that. But and disgust, wow, she is very disgusted with these contestants. I mean, these participants. Because Tara is done. And, you know, honestly, I would suggest that Disgust never watch Terrifier. Because she would definitely be disgusted with that. Man, that movie's come so far. And I feel like, I feel great about it because I was there before the bandwagon. So, and Disgust is done. Yeah, I feel so great about it because, you know, when I watched the first movie, I was like, wow, this is something. It's not the movie that's great. It's this performance by David Howard Thornton. It's like a tongue twister there. It's his performance, man. This guy's going to go places. And surely I was right, but in number 2, they add one of the best final girls. So now we got 2 characters that are just phenomenal and have a big future with horror, especially. And speaking of that, we got Pamela Voorhees in the house. Jason's mother. You know, I don't blame her for going after those camp kids. You know, they're a bunch of degenerates anyway. A bunch of young degenerates. And 19 is, oh man, anime character. We'll say anime. It's an anime. I thought she looked cool, and I looked her up. She's from some show. She has like a temper, apparently. That's awesome. I love women when they get angry. So I don't know a lot about her though. So I do like characters that get angry, as long as it's not annoying. Like certain characters, they get super annoying when they get angry. And there's some female characters I love in anime, like Balma and Faye Valentine, of course. But people like Chi-Chi can just... Chi-Chi, I'm going to be straight up honest. Chi-Chi can go below and lot. For real. I'm being dead serious. I cannot stand her. We're trying to save the universe here, okay? We don't have time for you to gripe about everything. That's why Balma's such a great character. She does whine a lot, but she's a great character. I like Balma. But Chi-Chi's just beyond annoying. And, you know, I'm not a Goku fan to begin with, so... 21's Toni Storm. And I used to not be a fan of her, but she's kind of grown on me. I like what they've done with her on AEW. And I didn't like what, you know, the other brand. But I do like Toni a lot now. Any girl that has the rock and roll vibe is definitely, or the punk rock, or the gothic, or, you know, rock and roll vibe is my favorite women. I have a bias for that. It's just a thing that I love, absolutely love. You know, whether it be Rhea Ripley or Cora Jade or Toni Storm. You know, they all have that in common. They have that, you know, that rock. There's this rock element to them, or metal element to them, or punk rock. I love women like that. I just love women like that. So, number 22 is Sailor Moon. Some people have said controversial statements that she could beat Goku, which I don't know, honestly. I've really never watched. I don't think I've ever seen Sailor Moon. But this whole thing that Goku's the greatest thing ever, I just cannot stand it. And you know I'm not a big Goku fan. You know, Vegeta's my boy. He works harder, too. Goku gets all this power for less work. You know, and I got like 3 Vegeta figures. So you know I'm a Vegeta fan. And we got Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edge Runners. 23. I love Rebecca. Rebecca's a great character. That whole cast is wonderful. I highly recommend. It's like an anime style of Cyberpunk. It's on Netflix. It's a great show, and it's 1 season, so you don't have to. It's not like One Piece. You don't have to devote your retirement to it. It's 1 season. It's one and done, and it's awesome. And the soundtrack is killer. Killer soundtrack also. It's got some really good songs I still listen to when I go for walks, when I exercise. They really get me pumped up, some of those songs that they use in Edge Runners. And the action is breathtaking. The characters are awesome. Rebecca's a psycho, but she's on the good team. She's on the team you're rooting for. None of them are good. But, yeah, a lot of great characters in that show. And I miss it already. And we'll see who's next, but we're getting closer to the end. Thank goodness we don't have any more bald people that weren't supposed to be bald. That's a relief, at least. We have that going on. But, yeah, that's just ridiculous. And it's something that they did, because they weren't always bald, okay? There's Sweeney Todd, and then there is the barber of 2K. You know, there's 2 different types of barbers that are evil. Sweeney Todd's one, and then there's the barber of 2K. That's a great idea. You guys need to write that one down, because that's a great idea. Shaves people's hair, and they no longer have any hair because of him. He's the worst barber ever. You know, I always had that fear in the barber shop. I'd go in the barber shop, and the barber didn't like me or something. And it's a good thing my friend is my barber. I know this guy. We went to school together. It's awesome because, you know, we can talk about all kinds of stuff. Because we have friends that, you know, I have friends that are the same as his friends. But, yeah, I always had this fear. What if the barber got mad at me? And I know, you know, how I brainstorm. And I just come up with these crazy thoughts. But what if a barber got mad at me and shaved my head for fun, for the heck of it? And then, like, what? I mean, he could just say that I told him to shave me bald. I mean, unless you have witnesses, you know. And I never like them using the straight razor at all in the barbershop. Never. That's my number 1 rule. Do not use that straight razor. I've seen Sweeney Todd too many times, okay? But how did we get on barbers? Oh, I know how. And there goes, is that Alice? Yes, looks like it's Alice. So there goes one of Christopher's favorite here. Of course, he wanted this. He's been talking about it for months, and a couple of other people have chimed in. I think Mitchell was one. He chimed in on this. Also, he wanted this. I think somebody else wanted it too. So, and it's different. We get to use different characters, not the same old people. And that's the problem with the tournament, because you see the same people over and over again, the more wins that team gets. And I'm going to have to change it up a little bit and add some people. And I've thought about doing the women's, but there's not enough. There's not enough, I don't think. Unless we bring in a bunch of anime characters that I don't even know, which is not fun. You know, I don't mind having a couple, but when I don't know half of them and I can't pronounce half their names or tell you anything about them, kind of takes some fun out of it. Because obviously I know who Sailor Moon is. I've just never seen the show. I don't know a lot about her. And I know there's like a group of the girls. And I heard it's pretty good. I think anyone can enjoy it. Yeah, I just do not know a lot about it. I know they deal with time, I think. And one of the things that I loved, one of the few things, by the way, and wow, 25, we got the Silent Hill nurse. Yeah, you don't want her to check your blood pressure. That is for sure. There's a lot of characters in Silent Hill that are just weird. And I guess, obviously, that's what they're going for. But I actually like the nurses. Pyramid Head, I don't know how he gets around with that big giant thing on his head. But the bugs are kind of weird. But I really think the nurses are cool. They're really cool. And I've told you 100 times how I love that Silent Hill movie. I've never played any of the games, which is a big surprise. And we got Mikasa at 26. One of my favorites. And we've had her on here before, but this is a different version. And I always am going to have her on. She's one of my favorites. I haven't seen the whole show, but she's just hardcore. And she catches on quick of what needs to be done. She's better than the male characters besides Levi, of what I've seen. Like I said, I haven't finished it. Someday it's one of those, like Tokyo Ghoul, I always try to commit to it and I never finish it. 27 is Rosemary. All right. She's got one of the best theme songs. And like I said, again, it's that gothic, rock, metal vibe that I love. That seems to be a trend of my favorites. They have that theme. Except for Lita. I like Lita, but she's not one of my favorites. She's like the only one. But Ashley Mascaro was great. And she had that vibe also. So it seems like there's something there that I just like. This is one of the best ones. Victoria Hayes. Oh my goodness. Sickening. This one's really gross. If you see the face, you're not going to see the face probably that good. But she's one of Art's accomplices in Terrifier. Started out as one of his victims, and then became an accomplice. And she is disgusting and gross, and not because she looks the way she does. It's because she's brutal also. So, has nothing to do with even her appearance. It's just her actions alone is enough for me. But I really love what they did with the character in Part 3. I always thought that was one of the scariest aspects of the movie. It was what happened with her face. That I remember seeing that in Part 1, and I was freaked out. That movie, I just never saw how bad that movie was going to be when it comes to the gore aspects. When I was first watching that movie, I just was sitting there with my jaw completely dropped because I've seen stuff worse than that, but it's very rare, and usually I know it's coming. I know what I'm getting myself into. There's a French movie in particular that is, oh man, it's very gross and very bloody that I can think of that's way worse than that. But I knew what I was getting into. And Victoria's already done, so the nurse has eliminated her. Pamela, and we got Pamela and Rosemary. We'll see who's next. We're getting closer to the end, and yeah, we're finally there. Bloodstone. I think she's Marvel. I don't know anything about her. So if you always want to look up some of these people with caution, because some of them are a little bit brutal, but because I love the genre, a certain genre I love, but. Most of these are really cool characters. But I don't know who I'm rooting for. Pamela's been in here for a while. And Rosemary's already done, unfortunately. I really want to see number 30 go because I don't even know who she is. Oh, man, and takes out the leg. The nurse uses her head. Of course she does. Those nurses are awesome. They're just, I love their design. It's the best. It's my favorite character of that franchise. I know Pyramid Head obviously is, but he's kind of a dork. He's kind of into geometry too much to have a triangle over a pyramid over his head. I mean, I don't know how he walks with that giant thing. I'm sure they explain it in the games. And that giant sword, like, he has all that metal dragging him down. It's like that Deontay Wilder guy that fought Tyson Fury. He has all that stuff dragging him down, so much weight on it. I don't know how he does it. But, he also is obviously a character of fiction, so why am I even asking questions? It's like asking why Fast and Furious, why the cars are just invincible, basically. It's because that franchise is the most ridiculous one. But, wow, we still have the nurse. She's fighting. And Pamela, I would watch out for her. Sailor Moon's been in here for a while. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. And Mikasa, still alive. Oh my goodness, and the nurse has went to biting. And that's something I learned. Some doctor told me that, he asked me a question one time, and it was just so weird. The doctor was really weird. And this was like one I had when I was younger. So it's not the one I have now. But the doctor was like, what's the worst kind of bite? Is it A, a dog bite? I didn't know we were doing multiple choice at the hospital. But is it A, a dog bite, B, a cat bite, or C, a human bite? And guess what? It's a human bite. Human bite's the worst bite to get. I guess it depends, though. Because the dog could have rabies. I mean, but most dogs, especially if they have an owner, they don't. Because they have to have their shot. I don't know how all that works, but apparently a human bite is worse. According to him. I don't know if that's true. Like I said, I did not like that doctor. He just gave me some bad vibes. And if he sees this, I don't care. Go take your practice somewhere else. It's like asking me a multiple choice question. Do your job and shut up. It's like, what are we doing here? This is not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's like, why are you asking me questions? Like trivia. Some doctors make me so upset. I have a great dentist. And I like my doctor now, but some of these other doctors, I don't know what they're talking about. I have like the world's best dentist ever. I used to, and we used to talk about this. I used to be scared of going to the dentist. I was horrified. And now, because of this guy, I'm not as much. I still don't like it. It's not like I enjoy going. But it's more, I know I'm in good hands. That situation. And we are down to 4. We need to stop talking about dentist. We got that nurse still in. And Mikasa, look at this. Wow. And look at the nurse. The nurse just fights dirty. Uses bites, scratches. Nurse is completely evil. Man, this one's dragged out a little bit. Wow, so we are down to 2. And it's Scully. I didn't bring her up from the X-Files, which I've never seen. Believe it or not, it's like, how do you not see that? How do you not see that? I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. I'll apologize later. I need to see it. It looks really good. I've heard nothing but great things. I just, it has like a lot of episodes, and it was a little bit. I was young when it ended. I was young. And oh man, the nurse just tried to finish the job. And I mean, Scully's probably taken on worse things than this nurse. So yeah, I need to watch it. I need to put it on my to-do list. That and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I have never seen. And I enjoyed the Buffy game. And it looks like Scully wins. Agent Dana wins. I didn't even notice her until like toward the end there. And she may have won, but her and her partner are not going to WrestleMania. Don't let the fireworks off. Stop that. My goodness. Enough with the... What is this, the 4th of July? It's not the 4th of July. Quit it with the fireworks. Hate them. Can't stand them. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it, and Christopher, I hope you liked it. I know you're not the only one that wanted this, but we needed a change of pace, and that's what we have to do. I enjoyed it overall. Not big on the winner. Would have liked to see the nurse win, but beggars can't be choosers. Okay, it's still an okay ending. 30 didn't win, I don't think. Yeah, I think it was that other girl. They had the same hair color. But anyway, I'll see you all later. Thank you all for dropping by, and we'll try to do more of these. See ya.